Deep within the earth lay the abyss, a world of endless tunnels and caverns. It was a harsh and unforgiving place, home to creatures of darkness and danger. Among them lived the ants, a race of tireless workers and fierce warriors. Beru was one such warrior. He started as a humble soldier, loyal and brave. He fought with every ounce of strength in his small frame. Beru rose through the ranks. His courage in battle was unmatched. He earned the respect of his fellow ants. He inspired them with his unwavering determination. His strategic mind grasped the flow of battle. He always placed the safety of his colony above his own. The day came when the old ant king fell in battle. Beru, the mightiest warrior, was chosen to lead his people. He accepted the heavy crown. He vowed to protect his colony with his life. He was no longer just Beru, the fearless soldier. He was Beru, the ant king, the shield of his people. The abyss was a dangerous place, yet under Beru's leadership the ants prospered. They dug deeper, expanding their kingdom. They defended their territory with unwavering courage. Beru led from the front, his spirit a beacon for his people. He was the heart of their colony, and his courage was their strength. Life in the abyss was a constant struggle for survival, but a new threat emerged from the surface world. Hunters. These powerful beings came from a place bathed in sunlight. They sought magical cores, the lifeblood of creatures in the abyss. The hunters were formidable. They possessed incredible strength and wielded powerful magic. The ants were outmatched. Their stings and bites were no match for the hunters' weapons and spells. Still, Beru refused to cower. He knew what was at stake. The survival of his colony rested on his shoulders. The first encounters were devastating. Ants perished by the hundreds. Each fallen comrade weighed heavily on Beru's soul. He mourned their loss, but he also knew despair was a luxury he could not afford. The hunters grew bolder, venturing deeper into the abyss. The pressure on the colony intensified. Beru knew he had to act decisively. He would face this new enemy head-on. He would protect his people no matter the cost. Beru stood before a wall in the deepest chamber of the colony. The wall was etched with the faces of countless ants. Each face represented a fallen warrior, their sacrifice etched in memory. These were Beru's friends, his comrades. He touched a face, his heart heavy with sorrow. He remembered their bravery. He remembered their laughter echoing through the tunnels. He remembered their unwavering loyalty. They had given their lives defending their home. Beru vowed to honor their sacrifice. He would not let their deaths be in vain. He would face this new enemy. He would fight with the strength of 10,000 ants. He carried the memories of the fallen in his heart. They fueled his resolve. He was their king. He would not falter. The weight of responsibility was immense, but Beru refused to bend. He would lead his people through this crisis. He would honor the fallen by protecting the living. News arrived of the strongest hunter. His name was Jinwu. He was responsible for countless ant casualties. He was a one-man army, annihilating entire platoons with ease. Beru knew he had to face this hunter. He gathered his bravest warriors. He explained the danger. He offered them a choice: stay and protect the colony, or march with him to face an almost certain death. To his surprise, every single ant stepped forward. Their resolve mirrored his own. They were ready to lay down their lives for their king, for their home. The journey was fraught with danger. The air crackled with the energy of the approaching hunter. The ants marched silently, their footsteps muffled by the dust. Each step took them closer to a confrontation that could decide their fate. Beru, despite his small size, radiated an aura of power. His every step was a testament to his unwavering resolve. He would face this hunter, this Jinwu. He would fight to the death if necessary. The survival of his colony depended on it. This was his destiny. Section 5, Clash of Titans. Beru and his warriors finally encountered Jinwu. The hunter stood at the entrance of a vast cavern, a figure of immense power. He was battle-hardened and radiating confidence. He looked down at the ants, a hint of amusement in his eyes. The battle began. Ants swarmed, their pincers snapping. Jinwu moved with incredible speed, cutting through their ranks with ease. His sword flashed, a blur of deadly light. Beru directed his warriors, his mind working furiously, seeking a weakness. He saw an opening and charged. He leapt, his small body propelled by surprising strength. He slammed into Jinwu's armor, biting and clawing with all his might. Jinwu, caught off guard, stumbled. It was a moment of opportunity. Beru pressed his attack, driving Jinwu back. The other ants rallied, their morale boosted by their king's ferocity. For a brief moment it seemed victory might be within their grasp. Section 6. Respect forged in battle. Jinwu, however, was not easily defeated. He recovered his balance and unleashed a wave of energy. Ants were thrown back, their bodies broken. Beru roared in defiance and charged again. He darted between Jinwu's attacks, his speed almost a blur. Jinwu, impressed by the ant's tenacity, stopped his attack. He studied Beru, a hint of respect entering his eyes. He had faced countless creatures in the abyss, but none possessed the spirit of this tiny ant. He sheathed his sword. "You are a worthy opponent," Jinwu said, his voice booming in the cavern. "I've never seen such courage in one so small." Beru, surprised by the hunter's words, lowered his guard. He looked at his fallen warriors, his heart heavy with sorrow. He had fought bravely, but at what cost? Jinwu continued, "I will leave this place and hunt elsewhere. You have earned my respect, Ant King." Section 7. A King's Burden. Jinwu departed, leaving Beru and his remaining warriors standing amidst the fallen. The victory felt hollow. Too many lives had been lost. Beru had fought bravely, but was it enough? He was their king. He was supposed to protect them. He surveyed the carnage, his heart aching. The cost of his defiance weighed heavily on him. He had faced a god amongst men and survived, but at what cost? He closed his eyes, remembering the faces of his fallen comrades. Their sacrifice fueled a new resolve in him. He would rebuild. He would honor the fallen by safeguarding the living. He would lead his people with wisdom and strength. He would never forget the sacrifices made this day. The journey back to the colony was somber. The weight of the encounter pressed upon Beru's mind. He had faced a being of immense power and emerged victorious, but victory had a bitter taste. He carried the burden of leadership heavily. He knew his journey was far from over. Section 8. A New Dawn. Upon returning to the colony, Beru was met with a mixture of grief and relief. The survivors mourned the fallen, their sorrow echoing through the tunnels. Yet there was also a glimmer of hope in their eyes. Their king, their champion, had returned. He had faced the legendary Jinwu and lived to tell the tale. Beru, despite his exhaustion, addressed his people. He spoke of the fallen, praising their courage and sacrifice. He promised to honor their memory by leading their colony into a brighter future. His words, though laced with sorrow, carried a powerful message of resilience. The ants drew inspiration from their king's words. They had faced extinction and emerged stronger. They would rebuild, their bonds strengthened by the shared experience of loss and resilience. They would honor the fallen by continuing their legacy. Under Beru's leadership, the colony slowly began to heal. They dug deeper, fortifying their defenses. They trained harder, preparing for future threats. They remembered the fallen, their memories serving as a constant reminder of the preciousness of life. Section 9. The Heart of a Warrior. Beru's tale became a legend whispered amongst the tunnels. He was more than just a king. He was a symbol of courage, a testament to the unwavering spirit of the ants. He had faced insurmountable odds and emerged victorious, not for power or glory, but for his people. He embodied the true heart of a warrior, one who fights not for personal gain, but for the safety and well-being of those he holds dear. His story served as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even the smallest among them could rise to the challenge, could face overwhelming adversity and emerge stronger. Beru, the Ant King, became a symbol of resilience, a testament to the enduring strength found in unity and unwavering determination. The heart of a warrior beat on, not in size or strength, but in the will to protect, to sacrifice, to stand against the darkness and emerge victorious. This was Beru's legacy, etched not just in the walls of his colony, but in the very soul of his people.